Why being vulnerable sucks. Real simple here. What do I mean by being vulnerable? Well, being vulnerable is opening up emotionally, opening up your psyche, opening up your deepest thoughts and biggest fears up to another human being. This could be anyone, your friend, your close family, anybody, opening up to someone, and it sucks for you. And maybe it doesn't suck for anyone, but you personally, you know that you're really scared and you don't want to open up. And that's a whole bag of worms itself, right? When you deal with situations where you've given people access to the innermost terrifying workings of your mind, and that's either been rejected, disrespected, or it's been used against you, it can be a very hard thing to trust other human beings and allow them into your mental space and into your very vulnerable space, right? Like for me, I struggle with this as an example, trying to open up and say what I'm truly feeling all of the time. It's a difficult thing, but I've gotten better over the years. And I think it's an important skill so you can register with yourself what your emotions are on the fly. And I can just know what I'm actually feeling. So being vulnerable sucks. What can we do about this? Okay, if we know that we're scared, if we know that being vulnerable and exposing our deepest thoughts and feelings might have the potential of rejection, betrayal, right? It might have pain involved for us, right? We're going to feel something bad potentially if I really let someone know what I'm feeling. And there's about two things I can think of right now off the top of my head that tell me maybe I shouldn't care so much and I should just do it anyway. The first is sometimes I think I open up not to someone or to something for the sake of anything else other than myself. It's like I have to get this out because keeping it in is more destructive than anything. This is the first and most important reason for me initially why I decided I need to start being more transparent and more real with the way that I feel about life and I feel about people and things. Because the more that I keep this to myself, it allows for two things to go wrong. One, I keep it to myself and I bottle it and I feel all sorts of negativity. And two, if you have an idea that may be right or maybe not right, if you never expose it to the world, you never know if what you're thinking truly makes sense because the mind is a very complex thing. It's something that can trick us into having very negative self-talk and belief and views around the world. And if I go around the world and I have a belief and perception around it and it's completely wrong, I can be wrong, everyone can be wrong, and it's never challenged, well, it's probably going to stay wrong. And that's scary. It's scary to be vulnerable. It's scary to be open. It's scary to say how you really feel because we don't want to feel like we are like psycho, like we're crazy, you know? And we don't want to experience pain by letting someone know what's really going on. But hopefully, in understanding that freeing your mind and opening yourself up to the idea more often, even though and here's what you would have to tell yourself, you have to say, I'm gonna talk about this, express this, even though I know that there's a full possibility of rejection or of some type of negative consequence, right? And again, like just because I feel like sharing things and I overshare a bunch of shit, like you don't have to go around sharing to everybody, but to the people that matter, to the people that you would hope would be able to know these parts of yourself, you have to be able to accept that maybe that they might not give you the response that you're looking for. They might not accept you the way that you're hoping, and that really scares you. But it's at the end of the day, keeping it to yourself, it makes it harder for people to understand you and understand what you're going through despite that, right? So I'm not really making the best case here because I am reaffirming a lot of what is true. The truth is, when you're vulnerable, you are vulnerable. And I'll give you an example, right? Like some people will not forget, but they'll tell themselves that they won't love someone fully or they won't invest fully in something because of that fear of vulnerability, because they feel like things can go wrong. And because of that, they never truly experience what they could actually experience by going all in on, loving someone, on caring for someone, on investing in these emotions, right? Because allowing yourself to stew in your own mind, it's fine, right? I think people can become extremely smart just by sitting with themselves and being able to analyze and work through things, but just as equally having other people around you is a very effective way to move forward, right? To move forward with thoughts and ideas. So that's just another reason that I think is highly important, to be able to be a little bit more vulnerable if you're able. So when the thing happens, right? When the thing you always expected happens, when you're vulnerable and it doesn't go right now, what happens? Well, you just you got to be able to sit there and go, you know what? I said what I said, or and it wasn't accepted, and that really sucks, and it does hurt. But all you can do from there is just go, maybe telling this to this person was not the right thing. Maybe this is not the right person I can be vulnerable with this idea. And that's something else you got to be careful of, because if you start believing that there's no one you can talk to at all, then that's going to be a rough existence. But there are genuinely people who, and I'm being bit by mosquitoes everywhere. There are genuinely people who I don't think are able to receive certain messages from you. So I'm not going to tell you to go and tell everyone everything. But keeping things in, it generally leads a lot of times to negative behaviors that you might not even be aware of, that you're capable of. And that's what I wanted to hit on for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to talk a lot more about this, so please do comment, because I did have more to say. I just want to keep these videos around 6 minutes. Take care and peace.